Well, King, it's Sunday. You know what that means.
Yes, sir. AEW Continental Classic. We just coming off a full year, second year of the Continental Classic, which Tony, I understand why, but you couldn't do this at an earlier time.
Right? I was expecting this like in the friggin' afternoon or at noon, but it is what it is. But yes, indeed, King, it is once again CC season, once again, the second ever Continental Classic courtesy of AEW, where, of course, the winner will be able to challenge for the Continental Crown, aka Continental Championship. I imagine at World's End. Of course, World's End will be Saturday, December 28th, and I wonder if that will have impact directly on Wrestle Dynasty as we head into the new year, where AEW will be streaming starting January 1st with Fight for the Fallen. And of course, we're coming up AEW Full Gears. We got a little bit about 20 minutes. First up, good to see you. I figure we'll shoot the breeze a little bit about our favorite moments, biggest takeaways from Full Gear, and then maybe bring people up to speed on what the Continental Classic is, what we think it can be this year, who we hope is going to be involved this year, and go from there. So before we get into the discussion, of course, we are ATW. On behalf of W fans, thank you all for tuning in. Hope you enjoy the conversation. Please subscribe, comment, tell a friend, support my friends. Shout out to the AW fam, including to SC, Shanna, Chanel, Josh, Jose, our Preacher Man, Casey Flynn, our Queen across the pond, Meg Chibba, Mary J, continues to prove that J is more than gold. Our enforcer, Lex, arigato, strong spirit as always, my friend. We are always with you. Life always matters until does time. And again, the entire fam, but I would be here all night, but of course, talk about them. And of course, Eric, the of all things news, seeing brighter things and clearer ways on Blue Sky. And please follow him and follow his work on YouTube. And of course, my brother, All Elite, since day zero, for life. Of course, we are the All Elite duo of ATW, the King H-Man. Well, King, we're removing Full Gear, and it's the Standard Continental Classic season. How you feeling overall, my friend? And good to see you once again.
Good to see you too, bro. I've been looking forward to this C2 since it was first announced. I knew he was going to get a Continental Classic. It's the first one. It blew my expectations, especially, for people, especially for the people that got caught up to how the round robin tournament works. And they weren't real familiar with, like us, with the G1 and all of that. So it's really interesting to see how they did it last year. And it played out overall tremendously. Loved it. Brody King, I felt like, was an underrated star in the Continental Classic, even though it came a little bit short. I'm looking forward to see what this block, this bracket, these, who's going to be participating in the Continental Classic this year. I am intrigued. I'm ready to see it. Let's freaking go.
Yeah, and of course, it culminated with the first ever winner being Eddie Kingston, the Mad King, overcoming John Moxley at last year's World End in the Continental Crown. That was crowned in the first ever Continental Classic, to your point. And yep, we are just mere moments away from revealing our field of 12. I imagine it's another field like before. It's going to be 2 blocks of 6. I figured they're going to use the same point bracket, a little bit of a change up from the G1 Climax we know, where it's usually 2 points or 0 or 1 for a draw. Now they have 3 points, 0 or 1 for a draw. And I wonder if they're going to change that dynamic. And I was very curious how that gap would work based on the scoring. But overall, it did work in the end. And of course, Dan Garcia played spoiler, very driven. But Brody King was definitely a star player, but he was denied the finals thanks to Red Death pulling the biggest win is an entire Continental Classic run. And then people that really shocked me that got goose saying, including that limited to Jay Lee with the franchise Ring of Honor. I don't know if he's going to get a chance redemption this year, but I know we'll talk about that here soon. And again, folks, you, of course, can follow AEW on the social medias and on YouTube to find out who is in the Continental Classic, as we'll pick up this Wednesday on Thanksgiving Eve Dynamite from Chicago, Illinois in the Wintrust Arena. So stay tuned for the beginning of the Continental Classic. And of course, I'll be covering that with my friends at Reliable Studios. And again, we will keep you in tune as we go. And I'm sure we're going to go impromptu before World's End, not only to discuss this year, but maybe our expectations of what this Continental Classic was and who we think is going to win. As we're just a little bit under 20 minutes away, again, it's a round tournament. Of course, I watched Stardust, Five-Star Grand Prix. I watched NW's G1. I watched the N1 victory. I used to tease Dragon Gate, but again, too much wrestling. Well, they can watch it so much. And then Marigold now is in the frame. They have their own dream type of tournament this year. Of course, the Queen of Roses, Utami Hayashi, Mirai, and bright, rising, up-and-coming Joshi's. Very rookies, by the way. And, of course, Ray, their Marigold World Champion. And, of course, this year's Five-Star Grand Prix winner, it was Micah. It was Micah who I believe won, beating Saya Kamatani and denying her a chance at the finals. Was it Tendaka? I can't remember. I think it was Micah. Yeah, because I think it was Micah and Saya Kamatani. And then, of course, Tendakato's the World of Stardom champion now. But, of course, Saya would get a chance to get Tam at Dream Kingdom, and not to go too far off in the weeds. But, yeah, I always enjoy round robin tournaments because it does give people multiple chances, and it does add that dynamic that just because one loss, 2 losses in a row, 3 losses in a row, it doesn't count you out. We've seen comeback victories. We saw people go on an unstoppable undefeated streak, only to lose towards the end. And again, key players that we wonder might be in it this year, they may not be, especially what happened at the end of Full Gear. So we got a few minutes left still, as we got about 17 minutes. Let's go ahead and switch gears and talk about Full Gear a little bit. Of course, that was a pay-per-view that was last night from the Prudential Center. It was a massive card of a lot of single conflicts. Some were resolved. Some definitely blew my expectations out of the water, and some, what a result. And of course, our fatal four for the tag championship, some 0-hour action with Diana Peraza, of course, taking on Anna Jay, beating her, putting the shoulders on the mat, off the Fujiwara armbar against submissionist, caught off guard in their own device. Poor judgment, Diana, but I know the Vendetta is not going to leave that far behind. Incredible four-way, boy, Buddy Matthews freaking over as he, of course, was able to beat These Muertos, Commander, and Dante Martin. And again, I thought Full Gear was a very fun show. We got a brand new TNT champion. They're going to see pretty much ready. He finally achieved that moment. We saw the decimation of an assassin and possibly the crowning of a king looking to die as king. We saw arguably the greatest women's TBS Championship match in Mercedes Moné's run in AEW, and arguably Chris Statlander's strongest performance and presentation to date in her AEW career. Stats where it's at for a reason. Damn it. But overall, I really enjoyed Full Gear for what it was worth, and that ending, good grief almighty, that was nasty and crazy. And really, there's a lot of special disbelief towards now. Who the hell is going to confront John Moss and the Death Riders for this position for the AEW World Championship and take AEW into the new year as we know it? It's a freaking war zone right now in AEW with savages, dictators, and anarchists. Oh my. And that's not even covering everybody, believe it or not. So what was your thoughts of AEW, Full Gear King? Your match of the night, your moments, your expectations, and I know you're probably going to talk subtly about this. Jesus Christ.
See, how did you read my mind? Because I was going to start that off first. You read my mind so well these past like freaking 5 years.
We're the only reason, bruv, and I'm just gonna say this before you say anything. Hell have no fury like a sister broken-hearted. What did Mariah May just unleash in Mina Shirakawa? Oh boy.
Oh boy, indeed, where she kicked the bottle like Bruce Lee just entered in her soul. Like when that bottle started splashing out everywhere, and I'm like, Mariah, do you know what you're getting yourself into? And then Mina speared her through a table, and then like blood was coming down from her lip and just started licking her face, kissing her face. And I'm like, Mariah and Mina, yes, please. But the question is how we get there. That's the reason why I talked about if you guys missed our ATW view impromptu on Wednesday, to where I talked about the International Women's Cup. I do have a feeling now how we get there is now basically through that right there. Mina's going to represent Stardom. I really do feel like Mina's going to represent Stardom. And speaking of the International Women's Cup, we did have our 4 that will represent Ring of Honor with Billy Starks, Athena, Red Velvet, and Legit Layla Hirsch. That's a good solid 4 to represent Ring of Honor, if you ask me. And the winner will move on to Wrestle Dynasty to represent Ring of Honor. Now, I'm willing to see how AEW plays out, because I know CMLL, they got their 4 already set up. Now it's between AEW and Stardom to see who's going to represent from their respective companies. And then my match of the night, Mercedes Moné and Chris Statlander came a close second. I'll explain why. Mercedes Moné, I think, has found her groove. Like, not to say that she didn't find her groove when she came to AEW, But when you put her in championship matches, when you found that right dance partner, I think she may have found it in Statlander.
Well, let's
Because
see what
he
Mary Brown to say about that. Because look who
Eric,
finally decided to join the ATW Impromptu once again out of nowhere. Hello, Eric. The clear sky. Look at him. Quiet. What's he doing?
quiet like a church mouse.
I hear clicking. A lot of clicking. Anyway, Eric, good to see you. How are you? We're talking about Full Gear, and we're getting ready for the Continental Classic. Again, folks, please follow our ground and our studios. Again, at Clear Blue Skies. But yeah, go ahead and finish your point, King. And then it looks like he was checking out something. Or maybe that was just, one of those faces like, I know where you are. I got it.
Exactly.
But yeah, please continue your point, because I will give Monet credit credit's due. That was a clean win, and it took wrestling awareness, desperation, but counterintuitiveness off a code red stun gun, full force across the rope, damage knee, deep roll up, allow Monet to escape. I do mean escape and survive. Still the TBS champion too.
But Osprey was right. When that man is on pay-per-view, you can't touch him. You can't. Win, lose, or draw. You can't touch him. The man will pour his heart out in that ring, which begs me this, and I put two and two together. Was Will Ospreay and Bryan Danielson kind of like the passing of the torch to Will Ospreay when it comes to pay-per-views and how he delivers his matches nowadays? Because all I've been seeing, all I've talked about, all I've seen on Blue Sky is basically to see who. Like, it was like if I had to take a vote within myself to see who got the match of the night between Monet and Statlander and Fletcher and Ospreay. And it was like split 50-50, whether how you take it. But Fletcher and Ospreay, oh my God. How do you do a tombstone pile driver onto another man, onto the steel steps, and then just go bizarrely crazy? Don Callis was right. He's ready. That win proved it last night to any doubts that Kyle Fletcher had.
Oh, I've heard about that.
But please, Eric, please feel free to give your thoughts, and it's good to see you back in
So,
ATW.
honestly, I have not been watching anything because I have work.
Understandable.
Understandable.
Yeah, I think the last time I watched a show was Dynasty.
Ooh.
Wow, you've been really out of the loop, bruv.
Actually, sort of. Like the last match I saw was Bryan Danielson being massacred by Jon Moxley and the Death Riders.
Wrestle Dream.
But I haven't had the time to watch any of the shows on full because one, ever since they left Bleacher Report Live and Fight TV is annoying.
I agree. Triller can be annoying.
I'm just waiting for HBO Max to launch it.
So why don't you go ahead and talk about the Max approach? Just change gears a bit. Me and King kind of talked about how the world's going to streaming in wrestling and how this is a big opportunity and a big jump.
Also, I'm curious. I'm surprised James hasn't joined since he's been wanting to get back in.
I heard about that. I guess you guys add him back to the chat, but also he might be covering Bloodsport still with Walter Cruz. And again, I do.
I didn't know. But I did hear though on Game Changer Wrestling, Ricky Starks just blasted AEW.
I did hear about that, and there does come that frustration, guys, when somebody feels they're not being utilized to what they believe is their full potential. They're going to find a platform to voice it, and GCW gave him that platform to voice it. And you got to wonder, is he wrong in what he says? Because when was the last time we saw Ricky Starks next?
There's just one problem, though. The way he has to get the GCW appearance was to ask Tony Khan, which means, is it work, or is they like, I'm just going to get the permission and I'm going to just shoot from the hip like I'm CM Punk, and then we're going to do another Brawl Out sequel.
Well, I mean, look what Jack Perry did when he tore that AEW contract in New Japan Pro Wrestling and when he came back. It wouldn't surprise me if it wasn't work, though, because I do think Ricky Starks is an absolute asset that could be a major factor in AEW's future. But we also know his connection when it comes to
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Have you guys seen my No Man's Land video?
I haven't had a chance to see it yet, bro.
Oh, darn. That would have been interesting to talk about with all the plans I had visioned.
Well, I mean, you can still pilot, tease, go for it. Again, you know what we do.
Yeah, so the No Man's Land video was the first big edited project. Me and my new editor, Leno, you can check them out on Fiverr. They're also on Blue Sky. I managed to convince them to join Blue Sky. Hurrah!
Oh, well, there you go. I have to think about joining them when I can download the
Join
app.
us, Noah. It will be a safe haven to see the skylines.
I'll create a starter pack.
I'm barely on social media as it is. I'm already in a safe haven, but I will consider it. All right. The year is almost over. Okay. I will consider it. I see that. And I'll start getting your screenshots from Blue Sky as well, ATW fam. But good on you.
I've earned I've only been on there for 2 weeks and I'm already at 1.1 thousand followers.
Good on you. And I'm
almost
sure it's
at
a very
1K myself.
positive audience. But anyway, go back to the No Man's Sky reference you were referring to.
So I went ahead and made this big video. It was about 20 minutes. The budget was $150, worth it.
Yeah, just by means.
Yeah. And I've accumulated over nearly 4,000 views.
Good stuff.
Yeah. And then the automated detection system happened, and AEW claimed my video because of the automated system. So, boo, they took the money.
Well, again, man, they have that right.
Here's the thing. I'm more relenting on AEW on that because it was automated. I expected the content to be detected because of the footage we used. However... ... Guess what happened a week when I had gotten 3.5 thousand viewers a week after I uploaded that video?
What happened?
WWE saw it and manually claimed it and blocked it in 9 places. New regime, same old BS.
Well, they're always going to be intellectual when it comes to their property.
Always.
More than any
The
other
subject
company.
is about AEW, unless they're thinking AEW is secretly their property because all the former talent left them.
Well, I mean, again, you saw what happened when they put that one clip of Nigel McGuinness in regards to his NXT appearance. So,
yeah,
it's WWE. What do you expect? They're always going to be about brand supremacy at the end of the day.
But here's the thing: they would have to somehow watch my videos. So at least that acknowledges that there are people in WWE that watch me.
Oh, of course,
because this is like the second time they manually claimed a video that I helped produce.
Yeah, it's either an AI protocol that's watching out for keywords, or it's definitely an actual person. But yeah, you clearly have WWE's peripheral vision.
Look, I seem to get a lot of attention from AEW and WWE. I'm still considering if I should make the NRE merch for give me 1.5 mil. TK, come on.
You're not getting the 1.5 mil, Eric. Oh. Let it go.
Let it go, bro.
No.
He's never let it go. He never let it go.
He's not.
Look, if I can't let go of my hatred for work and I can't let go of that because I need a job, then I don't have to let this go.
Well, all I know is holding on to a grudge can't be good for your mentality, bro.
No, but it's just the typical, I have to work during the holidays and therefore hell breaks loose.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when it's a grocery store.
I remember those days when I went to Walmart. I saw the dark side behind the smile, but I still am thankful for those days and the experience because it got me to where I am today. So there you go. Brighter things await those that push on through the trials and tribulations. I am a
By the way, I know King has saw this, but I wanted to mention this. Noah, did you hear what Samantha Ivorin said when she announced her departure?
I remember that she felt under potentialized in being a character, and that was her biggest grievance.
Well, here's the thing. She revealed she didn't want to be an announcer the whole time. She was never passionate about it, and I was like, wait. So you're telling me what we saw you do at WrestleMania, what we saw you do last year, what we saw you do all throughout this year was you not wanting to, was you dispassionate about announcing, and you were doing that, where you got Lillian Garcia, Michael Buffer acknowledging you and thinking you're one of the all-time greats waiting to happen. This is an Orange Cassidy Will Ospreay situation.
It's one of those things where you're good at your job, but you may not like doing it, but you accept the fact that you were given this to do, so you do it. So I think it's one of those things. I think, again, text only says so much versus a person.
No, actually, she responded to a tribalist who accused her of being manipulated by Ricochet because, of course, no one can make their free will.
Well, again, we don't.
Of
And
course,
then
Ricochet
after she
can
said that
catch it
post,
easily.
after she said that post, the person responding apologized, so at least there was some decency left.
There you go. There's some decency in this world when people actually accept their foolishness.
But here's the thing, Noah. This is the thing I was trying to bring up. So imagine, just like Will Ospreay when he walked. Okay, remember how I mentioned Will Ospreay and Rocky Romero revealed that Orange Cassidy headed in to his match at Forbidden Door. Like, can I really hang with Will Ospreay? Like, he's
Yes.
Will Ospreay, and I'm
Yes,
Orange
I
Cassidy.
remember that. Yeah, and that
And-
turned out to be the match of the night.
Yeah,
no
this
bar
is
none.
what I've always maintained. Imagine had Orange Cassidy walked in there 100% confident, 100% sure, yeah, I can hang with him.
You would not have gotten that same, I think, presentation because you would think overconfidence would underwhelm Orange Cassidy in pushing himself as far
Yeah,
as he
but
thinks
imagine
sometimes
if
is, I
he
think.
wasn't doubting himself, if he didn't doubt his ability, especially with all the crazy psychopaths that like to go after him. But imagine if Samantha loved being an announcer. Imagine what she would have been performing as an announcer than what we've already seen.
Well, I mean, she already hit the Mecca. I'm not sure how much bigger you go besides WrestleMania and calling Cody Rhodes finishing his story. In my opinion,
The
that was the highlight
Olympics?
of her career. Well,
I think Okada was supposed to do the torch, and then the pandemic happened. Screw that.
But yeah, and this is accurate. And speaking of Okada, Kazuchika Okada, of course, will be defending his Continental Championship and Continental Crown here, as we are just less than a minute away from revealing our field of 12. And I hope it involves Buddy Murphy. I hope it involves people like Kyle Fletcher. I hope it involves people like the Beast Mortals, who I think has been extremely impressive, but has been out to prove a point. I'm hoping for a very dynamic and national field. He's injured still, isn't he?
He's actually, it was said that he would be injured until after Full Gear. He might be cleared by now.
Then I would say yes.
And depending on how long they take the brackets, he could be cleared in time before his match.
Well, again, it also depends on what matches first happen, because again, the Continental Classic starts this Wednesday, this round robin tournament. But still, good stuff. Good free form chat, Eric. As again, we're here to talk about the Continental Classic, as always.
I did want to talk about No Man's Land, but I got sidetracked.
I know, but don't we always get sidetracked here at the ATW view? This
We
is
always
why we
do.
have no script, and it's always fun. And and you love it, and I love it, and I bear with it, and we are ATW. And again, forever grateful for you, fam. So, real quick before we go live, King, any other names you hope to see in the Continental Classic?
Nope. I don't have any other names.
Well, I do have some bad news I have to tell you all.
As always, the bearer of news. Go ahead.
There it is.
Speedball is not participating. His contract's not officially up till afterwards. However, he was alert. Therefore, he is going to go all elite in January, but
I was hoping a Speedball Mike Bailey could run.
Well, damn it. Well, I mean, if nothing else, I figured
unless that was a ruse, and in which case, if they announced it, then fine.
I mean, I could see it being a ruse, if we're being quite honest. I mean, this is AEW we're talking about, but I mean, people might barely the match.
It has to depend, because really think about it, because TNA is working with WWE, which means the politics will be horribly mingled.
Well, I mean, again, the whole NXT and again, it's a focus on NXT working with TNA, and I think it's more about Evolve in the women's division more than anything, which I can respect. With the Knockouts division, what NXT women's division has become, way better than the main roster. So, I mean, as long as it stays that dynamic, I'm kind of okay with it. I never really saw much more since I've only seen the women focus outside Joe Hendry and Hammerstone having an appearance being obliterated by Obafemi. So, I mean, well, a minute and 7 seconds away. So, I mean, Eric, now you talk about Speedball Mike Bailey. I mean, again, you may have been out of touch with AEW, but you saw the Continental Classic last year. We know last year's winner won't be involved, along with several others, including Andrade. I don't think the Death Riders are going to be involved either, like Claudio Castagnoli, and clearly not John Moxley. But is there any name that you hope maybe is involved this year in the Continental Classic?
Yeah, there's a lot of people I want to see in the classics, but like, I know Okada's guaranteed because he's the champ.
Beach.
Yep.
500 beach.
I know Brian's out because they're doing the story and he's, quote, retired for now.
I think he's a man of integrity that will actually hold up to that, too, by the way.
Yeah, except he did say he'd be open to part-time run.
Well, he did say full-time, so that's fair, but continue.
Let's see. Speedball Mike Bailey, unless they swerve us, is out, so
15 seconds for that swerve. Garbage. Swerve Strickland also was involved in it last year, so there's
I want Shelton Benjamin in it.
Yes!
Ooh.
Yes, I love that so much. Shelton Benjamin has proven that he still has not lost a single step at the age of 49.
49 years old.
Here we go, guys.
Let's get it.
And it starts this Wednesday. It's the second ever AEW Continental Classic that will culminate with the winner of this year's Continental Crown, facing Kazuchika Okada at World's End. It's time for the selection.
Selection show, bros. Hosted by Tony Schiavone.
Hey, he's back at the control center.
I miss the control center.
Yeah, me too. I don't think I had enough respect.
You know, they are planning to do a show potentially, so they might do an in-studio show.
I wouldn't mind that,
True.
honestly. I feel that'd be a good idea. I loved last year's Continental Classic. What an awesome first.
Tremendous.
Oh, boy. And I get to cover it live. Yay! Ooh, both collision.
Indiana and Ohio. Columbus.
Ah, very close, but I'm thinking about it.
Winter is coming. Both
Dun,
Missouri.
dun, 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 dun. Kansas City game winner is coming. Whoa,
DC
Washington,
and New York
DC.
City.
I'll try to see if I can go there, but I'm not certain.
Priorities over passion.
Oh, Hammerstein Ballroom. Hammerstein Ballroom got Continental Classic.
Yeah,
That's
they're going
right.
there.
Oh, what a treat.
Including Ring of Honor, and they're doing a collision there.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, I've heard about
exactly.
that.
And
Championship
of course, the
final?
at AEW World's End, Orlando, Florida, the 28th. All right, let's go ahead and confirm the rules. Have they changed since last year? Please do. Same thing as last year. 20-minute time limit, 3 points for a win, 1 point for a draw, and everyone is banned from ringside. Most integral form.
They
of
should
wrestling
add
match.
2 points for a disqualification.
Yeah, I don't know what they do in the case of disqualification. I guess it's just the 3 points.
Winners of each league will compete to be crowned the winner of the 2024 Continental Classic.
You know, I feel like they should also, just to end this run,
Official
get Ray
entrance.
Phoenix to do some matches in the Continental Classic.
Yeah.
Of course, we got Okada by default.
Of the Blue League.
Of the
I
Blue
knew they
League.
would want
Looks like
gold.
I wonder if they're going to do blue and gold alternate. They're going to start off with the blue league.
Let's see.
Oh, we're gonna break it down. Oh, we're gonna break down
The 7-time IWGP World Heavyweight Champion.
in the last of the elite that holds gold.
A league of his own, Okada truly is elite. But is he truly today's best bout machine?
Special generational talent that's in his 30s still.
Yeah, a legend in his 30s, for being honest here, guys. Multiple winner
And
of
has
the
gotten a
G1.
much needed reinvention.
Yeah, right. Who knew Okada had a character?
Unlike he did when he lost the title the first time.
Well, yeah,
after his
there
3-year
was
run,
that.
and then he decided, nah, I'm just gonna be the boring gold maker.
And if he wins the Continental Classic, he'll pass Chono for the most cup wins in wrestling history.
Can you imagine him putting himself up above Masahiro Chono, Mr. August? That's a
That'll be
real
a-
possibility.
What do you think they should do for the women's eventually? Should they do a women's Continental Classic, or should they do a special women's tournament for them?
I mean, we've already got the concept of the International Women's Cup at Wrestle Dynasty.
yeah, except
concept.
that's New Japan's thing, and that might not be a guarantee.
True, but I
True.
could see something like that with the women's division developing maybe towards next year. But I do think they need to do something all women based sooner rather than later. AEW women's division deserves it.
Major international wrestling tournament.
Will Ospreay.
Will Ospreay!
Yeah, that sounds right.
What
Which
league?
block is he in, though?
Gold.
Which block is he in?
Oh.
Gold. Okay. So he is not in the same block as Kazuchika Okada, but this is also a former multiple-time IWGP Heavyweight Champion, Repro British Heavyweight Champion. He has never won the G1 Climax, though. but he has been a world bender with match of the year candidates all over the industry in this past year. The aerial assassin Will Ospreay is the first participant of the Gold League. And you also got to consider what is that condition of that shoulder.
Yeah, after what happened at Full Gear.
All right.
Next,
Who else?
Blue League.
Continental Classic is coming off the biggest win of his young career, having defeated his former best friend and longtime partner, Will Ospreay.
Kyle Fletcher.
Kyle Fletcher.
Makes sense.
Makes sense. Blue League.
In the same book as Okada.
Oh my goodness gracious.
We're running that back. The Proto Star, the former Ring of Honor World Television Champion with a decisive victory over Will Ospreay. I still hate Don Callis, though. Parasite.
Will Ospreay's going to kick out of some things that no other human being can kick out of, but you didn't have. In what we talked about, you kept pouring it on.
Boy, did he pour it on. You may not saw it, Eric, but Internet Archive has everything AEW on their website. You can literally watch everything. TV shows and pay-per-views. And you will see the rise of a king as he physically dismantled Will Ospreay. But the thing is, King, both men are in separate blocks. If they win their blocks, we could have that match ran back in the finals of the Continental Classic.
We could. But right now, Fletcher is controlling his destiny, and Don Callis is right. He's ready.
You're going to win it. Here's the cherry on top. If Ospreay can drag himself from whatever hospital they're going to take him to,
Oh, boy.
He's going to be in it as well. Maybe we can
Yeah.
finish the job, kick a little.
They're going to finish the job.
This is great.
Don Callis' MO right now is in full throttle.
But
Kyle
how is Don
Fletcher
Callis?
is in the
Juice
Continental.
Juice!
Rock hard, Juice Robinson.
It makes sense, too, because Gold League, Bang Bang Gang makes sense.
Oh, give me a break. You're just using the Bullet Club reference because you want to. But to be fair, Rock hard Juice Robinson is a former IWGP multiple-time United States champion.
And a trios champ.
And he also is unhinged and could be a wild card in that block. The league, what we got?
Oh, a returning person.
AEW Full Gear, of course, he was able to beat Jeff Perry, become the TNT champion for the first time in his career, claim gold in AEW for the first time in his career. Congratulations to Red Death, by the way. And the flag of AEW on his back as well. Look at the reference of the future.
Oh, Daniel Garcia back.
Yep. Go ahead, gang.
DG back in the Continental Classic.
I guarantee you he's going to do far more than wooing. But to your point, we saw this man really demonstrate a hell of a lot of character in
I
last
am
year's
curious
Continental
though. Do you think he'll honor Eddie Kingston and defend the TNT title in it?
Well, it's one of those things where I'm not sure right now. Because to your point, Derek Garcia's TNT champion. Let's keep in mind, guys.
Oh, the beast.
Oh, shit. Anybody that pins the champ could have a shot at the title, including the Beast Mortos. He's in the Blue League.
Yes.
And now let's hear him speak. Or not. Member of Los Faction, Eagle Benavides, by the way. A little bit of identity crisis. Have already had hella wars with Commander and Hologram.
So you mean to tell me Okada, Garcia, and the Beast Mortos in the Blue? Oh my God.
Brody King.
Brody King is back. But he's not in blue. He's in gold.
Brody King giving us the best run of his career last year with the amount of brutality and violence he unleashed in the Continental Classic last year. Again, it was Daniel Garcia that prevented Brody King from punching his spot in the finals.
Blue League. Returning competitor.
Buddy Matthews.
Mark Briscoe.
Hey, my boy, Mark Briscoe! Reach for the sky, boy. Oh, holy shit. We're getting Kazuchika Okada versus Mark Briscoe. What? What? All right. And of course, the former Ring of Honor World Champion. Got his first win over Jay Lethal in the Continental Classic.
Ooh.
Oh my God.
Yes.
You gotta be kidding me.
He's going to have a busy month since he's also going to be in New Japan.
Yeah, he is. Getting ready for Zack Sabre Jr.
And if Cesar Jr. beats the Umino, he will face Cesar Jr. for that Heavyweight Championship at Wrestle Dynasty. Keep that in mind, because Zack is looking to go double dome. And of course, I'll also be covering that with the Cinema Bible Studio.
You're going to be exhausted, Noah.
What's exhaustion? I'll survive. Yeah. Anyway, let's go. Yep, Ricochet's in the Gold League, which means, King, we're finally going to run back Ricochet and Will Ospreay, and there will be no interference. Yeah, absolutely. This man has blasted strong out of this world.
Yep.
Ricochet. Hell of a match for Kazuchika Kanosuke Takeshita, by the way.
Shelton!
Shelton
We got it! We got
Oh,
it! And he's got to be in the play block with Shuko Okada.
Yep.
And of course, the former member of the Suzuki-gun, one of the best pure athletes right now in AEW, is going to show his greatness. Shelton Benjamin of the Hurt Syndicate.
Oh my God. This is looking stacked so far.
Claudio!
Claudio is back.
Oh, shit. Well, I guess that eliminates my fault. Pound for pound, the strongest athlete in all of AEW, 1/3 of the Trios champion, but also currently a Death Rider. But Claudio Castagnoli ran a rough shot last year over that field, including against Bryan Danielson. And arguably right now, Claudio's been never looked better. Did you see the physical dissection against Darby Allin? This is going to be good.
Darby?
Oh, well, uh-oh.
I think we're going to get a conclusion, possibly, of what happened last night at Full Gear.
Or a ton of massacring bludgeon and mutilation.
Can I just say, C, A and B, and of course, Darby Allin T-bone collision, that truck, and is hell bent on getting the Death Riders. So we got our field, guys. It is now set.
Sadly, Hologram will not be joining us.
Yep, but again, we will be joining this Thanksgiving Eve Dynamite when it kicks off. We have no idea what matches kick off first, but it kicks off this Wednesday as you see the schedule for the entire Continental Classic and the rest of the year in AEW.
Yes. Sadly, Rampage isn't on the list.
Because Rampage, unfortunately, Eric, at this point, is dead.
Is dead.
Look, I when we get back to the No Man's Land talk, I'll explain what I envision Rampage.
That's fine. And again, we're going to focus on AEW's remainder of their year here, starting this Wednesday. A hell of a selection show, though. Good stuff by Tony Bunny and AEW. So let's go ahead and review real quick. The Blue League has Kazuchika Okada and Mecha, Kyle Fletcher, the Proto Star, the TNT champion, Red Death Eric Garcia, Los Freshmen always the Beast Mortal, Tim Boy, and the Conglomerations, Mark Briscoe, and the Hurt.
I need to tell you something about Shelton Benjamin versus Okada potentially.
I mean, please do. Let's go ahead and talk about the matches. What's going to be the match of the block?
Okay, so I gotta say this. I'm hoping they do a promo between Okada and the Hurt Syndicate because there is history there.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
Beach.
You don't know what I'm talking about, do you?
I'm not exactly sure where you're going beyond the.
Okay,
We're talking about Suzuki-gun or
Suzuki-gun. Shelton Benjamin was once ex of
Nope.
Suzuki-gun.
You want to know something about Okada?
What about Okada?
MVP submitted him for the tournament to crown the first ever Intercontinental Champion in IWGP.
I forgot about because MVP is the inaugural IWGP Intercontinental Champion.
And then you remember Yano was in the finals with MVP for it.
Yes, he was. I was watching that back on YouTube. Freaking Yano.
we don't talk about Yano. Don't
no, I still am annoyed by him. I'm still annoyed, but the fact of the matter is, again, no second can be at ringside. Seconds are all banned. MVP's not going to be there. And we're getting a pure one-on-one contest with Shelton,
I know
Benjamin,
that,
and Okada.
but I'm just saying, like, MVP's going to try and bring up the fact that I submitted you.
Right. And then Okada's going to be like, I remember, bitch.
Yeah.
And of course, we got Daniel Garcia, the TNT champion. Kyle Fletcher, of course, he could take his shot at maybe being the TNT champion. Daniel Garcia's got Daniel Garcia, in my opinion, here, he's got the greatest task. He is in a field of monsters right now. If you look at what he's dealing with.
I said, hey, bro, check the chat real quick. I just sent you the graphics for both scorecards.
Oh, very nice. Definitely. And again, we look at Shelton Benjamin. Again, this is arguably the most we've seen his actual talent and potential utilized in the finals when WWE
and it looks like we're going to have to wait 4 to 5 weeks for Benjamin versus Okada.
Yeah, based on, again, I'll get the graphic here in a moment. But anyway, King, why don't you go ahead and talk about this block? Your biggest takeaways. Well, I get the graphic. Good to give me a few minutes, guys.
Yeah, I'm just waiting to get the graphic before I talk about it.
Yeah. Overall, I'm very pleased with freaking, who they picked for this field this year. We got a lot of great returns. We got a lot of great firsts.
Yeah, we do, especially at first.
Well, anyway,
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah, we do got a first. Like, we got Shelton Benjamin, we got the Beast Mortals, we got Kyle Fletcher, and then of course Okada by default. But Okada ain't no stranger to round robin tournaments. I mean, he's won a lot of G1s in his career. So
including the last one being absolute garbage. And
exactly, we don't talk about that here. I don't want to talk about that. I want to be reminded of that. But we got some returning ones like Daniel Garcia to see if he can redeem himself after last year playing spoiler to Brody King. And of course, we got Mark Briscoe, who, he only earned that 1 3-point, right, bro?
Which ruined Brody King's chances.
Yep, he did, and which left Jay Lethal still being a goose egg. So,
but the most important win, though, of course, of Daniel Garcia's entire run last year.
But as much as I like Okada and Benjamin, that because of the history and everything, I want to see the Beast Mortals and Shelton Benjamin go at it. That's what I want to see.
That's a very unique clash of styles, too, considering Beast Mortals is literally lucha, but Shelton Benjamin's been able to hybrid all styles, it feels like. And Shelton Benjamin, to a degree, he knows a little bit about lucha libre discipline as well, based on his work in NJPW. So, I mean, don't sell Shelton Benjamin short against the Beast Mortals. That's for damn sure.
And of course, you talked about Okada and Fletcher getting rammed. Oh my God, that's going to have me going rah.
So judging by I'm looking at both brackets. Here's how I see it: the Gold League is going to have all the best matches and diversity, while the Blue League will be Okada and his
Okada and beach. Well, I can understand what you're saying, Eric, looking at the Blue League, but I also look at it like this. The Blue League has, I think, the sleeper matches because everybody's got to test themselves against Kazuchika Okada. Kazuchika Okada is the guy to beat in this block, period.
Yeah, so basically the Blue League just have to defeat God.
Yes, you have to beat the Mountain. While the Gold League, who's going to win this block of madness? Good God.
Yes.
You got a juice loose.
We got Crash Test Dummy Darby Allin. We got the Pure Athlete and Claudio. We got the High Flying Risking Taking Will Ospreay and his counterpart Ricochet. We have the Monster Brody King. And we have one of the many horny wrestlers in AEW, all horny wrestling, Juice Robinson. Always rock hard.
You haven't changed a bit.
This is how Eric makes his return, bro, isn't it?
I wouldn't expect anything less, but yeah. But overall, to Eric's point, though, as we did kind of dissect the Blue League pretty well here, I think it's going to be very intriguing to see how Darren Garcia holds himself up coming in here as a champion. The only other champion in this block, Hurt Syndicate looking for gold, Chillin Benjamin, Darren Garcia right there. I think that's going to be a technical sleeper. Beast Mortals and Okada, to your point, though, I really don't know what to expect from that. And again, Kazuchika Okada adopting this Ric Flair-esque attitude and in-ring style. Very curious how, of course, he uses that to his advantage. And if Kyle Fletcher has learned enough and grown enough to actually beat Kazuchika Okada to bounce back from that loss earlier this year for the Continental Championship, I'm very curious to see what happens there. And Gold League, I mean, Darby Allin tried to hit the freaking Death Riders with a car, all right? So all bets are off. Claudio Castagnoli had to literally clothesline the man from Switzerland after throwing him military press free fall from announce table, high elevation position into the timekeeper area, and Darby still found a way, like a zombie, like a walking cadaver, to find a way back inside the ring. We're seeing the ultimate relentless one versus the aerial assassin, by the way. You're getting Darby Allin versus Will Ospreay. I'm just saying.
Oh, I just got a storyline idea. I just got an idea.
What you got?
Hear me out before any of you make a comment. Darby Allin wins gold. Kazuchika Okada wins blue. Darby defeats Okada and says, I beat Okada on my first try. Beat that, Omega.
No.
You're fucked up.
Yes.
No.
Nah.
They haven't fought yet.
True, but Darby Allin has one target in mind, and it starts with a hit list. Death Riders. He wants Jon Moxley. I think 2025 is going to be the story, ultimately, of Darby Allin becoming the face of AEW. And he's going to go Jon Moxley to do it.
He'll only be the face if he survives Everest.
Well, yeah, there's
that.
I
mean, but there's also July in Globe Life Field, which I'm getting this close to purchasing my tickets, where he might be thinking about doing a spot. And I have a feeling with that baseball field.
Speaking of that, guess what I proposed on Twitter before I had left that platform because it was becoming a hellfire dumpster after everything that happened recently? I said they have the opportunity to do the cruelest thing imaginable.
And that would be...
Hey, Brian, I know you're retired, but do you think we can pull a SummerSlam 2013 ending with Darby, Cage, and Moxley with you as the screw jobber?
I mean, we can't.
Rocker.
Yeah, he is.
Remember, because here's the thing. There's actually a way to make this all make sense. Like, here's how I saw it. I said this. Okay, Brian probably doesn't like Darby because Darby is, well, Darby and his insanity and his stunts. And Brian is all about that pure wrestling.
Right. Oh, give me a break. Brian's all about violence. Darby Allin's the incorporeal being of violence.
Yeah, but Brian wants to be more sophisticated, whereas Darby's just like, hey, so can you hang me by my feet? We really had to do this, didn't we? But anyways.
Yeah, we don't want the Double or Nothing was one of those dark notes for a number of reasons, and that's going to just leave that roll alone right there.
Yeah.
But anyway.
But here's the thing. And plus, remember, Christian Cage still has history with Darby Allin.
And Christian Cage almost tried to cash in his contract or Jon Moxley via help of Hangman Adam Page.
And thinking about that, think about who's not involved in this. No Christian Cage, no Hangman Adam Page, no Switchblade Jay White. I think we're getting a fatal 4-way at World's End for the AEW World Championship. I really do.
Yeah, I can see that playing out, yeah. Because everyone's gunning for Moxley.
Well, everyone wants the position. Everyone wants the championship. And Hangman Adam Page, for some reason, is literally trying to help Christian Cage do it. I have no idea what that's supposed to mean or why that's a thing, because I have no idea what's going for Hangman Adam Page's mind, besides the fact that Switchblade Jay White had his number again. What a hell of a counter-attack match, by the way.
Oh, by the way, since we're talking about stuff like that, I might as well just swerve the conversation around. WWE is legitimately screwed with Netflix, aren't they?
Didn't we just talk about that on Wednesday's Impromptu?
we were talking about how, again, we got to see how seamless of a transition that's going to be. But, I mean, the jury's still out. I mean, the logo already sucks. And
Okay, Noah King, there's been an update.
Please tell.
what?
So, due to the Netflix controversy of having to have Jake Paul and Mike Tyson be wrecked by buffering,
Yeah, which was the
WWE
worst fight
like,
ever. Go ahead.
WWE went ahead and told their talent, hey, look, I know that was horrible and an abomination. And I'm not just talking about Jake Paul's mere existence because he's an abomination of Ohio. But can you guys not talk about these buffering issues for our Netflix deal coming up soon? Please?
So you don't want to like send your fans a fair warning of what might happen on Monday, January 6th?
You see, here's the thing. Triple H even commented about it, and I was like, oh my God.
I think I know what comment you're talking about, but talk about it just in case if I forgot.
Okay, he talked about the buffering issues, so let's start that conversation. Triple H, you're a professional at press conferences, Mister. I don't see color.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Moving on from that part, but I'm just gonna say it. Triple H said, if 60 million people are watching, I don't care how long the buffering goes.
Just goes to show you WWE only cares about that big old 5-year, $1 billion Netflix contract that they getting.
I mean, hey, Fox gave them enough money, I guess, but they finally, decided not to renew that contract. So there's that. I mean,
yeah, and also, oh, by the way, so WWE's having like, how many championships do they have on the main roster alone?
Let's see here. WWE Tag Team Championship.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Speed is 9. 9.
Yeah,
not counting NXT.
Yeah, and then they're bringing in more new titles for the women.
Women's United States Championship. That is correct.
Yeah.
Green.
So even though WWE has all this going on, they have a huge collection of titles for separate brands. They're apparently planning to relax heavily on the brand split.
A brand split, LOL. I mean, that basically the brand split's gonna become non-existent.
So yeah, why even do this? Why even still continue the brand split then?
Well, you see, the reason why they're doing it is because Netflix had a request.
Of course they did.
And that request is,
hey, look, we know certain people are on SmackDown, but if you're able to and also piss off the intelligence of your fans, can you give us Roman and Cody with our CM Punk guy?
Of course, because he was advertised, and I see the advertising posters of Cody and Roman about Netflix on Raw. So yeah, I did see that.
That's all about the networks holding the biggest stars, but I can care too.
And they could just obviously just make a special episode out of it, but instead they're just like, screw the brand split, let's move on.
Well, anyway.
We have like 12 different championships all converging on the same shows.
It ain't the first time they ignored the brand split.
Yeah, except they actually. It wasn't good, but they still established that was a ruling, but they still changed it up. It was annoying.
Well, I mean, they've done that like 3 or 4 times. At least we know this is going to be split. Let's go ahead and just, again, close this thing out. Bottom line, I am definitely looking forward to the Continental Classic this year. A lot of firsts, some great returns, some great match runbacks from earlier this year, some possible upsets. I'm going to go right now and say sleeper performer of the Blue League this year. Shelton Benjamin, because Shelton's that damn good, and WWE did not show it to the fullest. Super performer for the Gold League. Damn, I gotta go with. I mean, I'm looking at this field, and I'm like, holy balls. I'm gonna go with. I think Ricochet, honestly, is somebody that might surprise us. We know what Will Ospreay's capable of doing at G1, and Claudio and Brody King, their next level. So I'm going to go with Ricochet. Before we conclude this thing, because I figure I'm just going to leave it at the hour mark before we go into midnight, because we all got work tomorrow. And Eric's giving a teaser of what's going to wait on the next Impromptu, which will be some point in December. King, your sleeper performers for the Gold League and the Blue League.
Blue League, I'm going with, I agree with you. It's between Shelton Benjamin and Beast Mortos, but I'm mostly leaning on Shelton Benjamin on the Blue League. And for the Gold League, I'm sticking with my Bang Bang Gang roots.
Of course.
The Juice It's loose.
Eric, anything you want to say regarding super performers for the Gold League or the Blue League?
Okay, so I already know that Benjamin and the Beast are going to steal it a lot, but I really feel like besides Daniel Garcia, who has been in the tournament already, Kyle Fletcher is the real underdog in all this. Because think about it, Kyle Fletcher, like he was able to fight Osprey because he knows him, he's worked with him, he's teamed with him, but he has to fight. Let's see, an insane, a Briscoe, a Hurt Syndicate, a Beast, a dancing TNT champion,
And you don't
God,
dance no more.
And God, essentially.
Beach. All right. Well, what about the Gold League?
As for the Gold League, honestly, it could be really anyone. In fact, I would not be surprised if they go all out and give Darby Allin this chance, because they probably want to at least give him a major championship victory if he does indeed, what happens in Mount Everest, because he's insane.
I really hope the Mount Everest thing is something he forgets about before he becomes.
No, he doubled down on that. He said, not only will I be going on that Mount Everest, I will be going into space.
Well, you only live once, I guess. Darby living vicariously.
You know what I'm expecting him to do when he eventually announces his space mission? There's actually a way he can top it. He can top it.
Oh, no. Here we go.
I, Darby Allin, shall go into space by Boeing's manufacturing company. Oh, God, you're good. Darby's going to ask Boeing to, like, hey, look, I know you guys make planes and fail miserably, and I know you made a spaceship fail miserably, but can you make one for me to go into space? And if in the likelihood I don't die, can we do an insane coffin drop escape pod ending for me as I crash back onto the surface?
Oh, Eric, we love you, but you're crazy, bro. Well, folks, that concludes this unique impromptu as we discuss the Continental Classic. Welcome back, Eric's Chaos. I will bring control as I always do. I am Shadow the Hedgehog, but I'm also the Cement No Foster. We are ATW ATW fan. We thank you for tuning in. Please stay tuned for me and my friends for coverage of the Thanksgiving Dynamite as the Continental Classic begins. We'll keep you posted throughout. We'll do another impromptu halfway through, discussing where the scores stand, what tiebreakers might be in place, who may be eliminated before it truly ends, as we get ready for the World's End, and probably Mina Shirakawa getting the wrath against the sister that broke her heart that used to shower naked with, too. This will all be ahead of Wrestle Dynasty, and we'll keep you posted on the International Women's Cup as well. Curious to see what former says AEW and Stardom gets, as well as double coverage of the Tokyo Dome, as well, of course, preview and predict and review Wrestle Kingdom and Wrestle Dynasty. And yes, for me, there will be no rest because I will be covering those shows too. But I think right now, before we go any further down the proverbial rabbit hole of insanity, getting down with the sickness worse than the damn song, I think I'm going to close this thing out. Yeah, Disturbed, right? And I just got done watching Turning Point 2004 with freaking who had the horrible the former the Monty, I can't think of his name, the guy with the pounce. Anyway, Monty Brown. Yes, thank you, Monty Brown, the alpha male. Again, Eric's crazy. King, you're wonderful. ATW fam, always appreciate you. God bless you. Have a great one.
There is one thing I could tell you.
What are you gonna say real quick before I throw this thing out?
This is what I proposed during the No Man's Land video about Rampage for its future.
What's that?
Since Rampage is supposedly ending within the next month or so, just have the Death Riders just destroy the whole set, NWO it.
I actually
like they do the 60-minute standard episode special, big farewell, and then we have Jon Moxley and his crew and all the gangs going at it and destroying everything in their path. Like we get let's throw the whole thing, make it a full-on Rampage. We get the Hurt Syndicate fighting, we get the Don Callis family fighting, we get the Death Riders fighting, we get the Conglomeration fighting, we get the whole No Man's Land fighting as they reign for supremacy.
In a land of savages, dictators, tyrants, parasites, and those that bring conspiracy theories to.
Well, to be fair, Don Callis was a virus once upon a time. He already burned one country to the ground.
That's a virus. I remember that. But as we bid Rampage adieu in some way or form, I'm going to bid you fine folks now a fine adieu. Thank you, folks, for tuning in. This has been a unique ATW Impromptu. We hope you enjoyed the discussion, the coverage, the preview, the simple text, and the chaos that ensued. And until next time, we are ATW. Shout out to the entire fam. Happy Thanksgiving, fam. Until next time, make a positive impact in life. Have a good night. We are ATW, and we are officially out. Have a good night, folks.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm so damn ready for this tournament. Let's freaking go. The world's end nears, and I cannot wait for a new year to begin. Good luck, everybody. And fam, been a pleasure. Have a happy Thanksgiving.
Take care.
Take care.
You do the same, and all of you too. Good night.